Hello, everyone. I am Latanya Smith. I am the CEO founder of Speak Life to Youth and Children International, otherwise known as SLYC, SLYC International. We've been in existence for nearly 3 years, and today is a very exciting day for me. At the ministry in Villa Rica that I served as youth pastor, she was one of my most dedicated and committed teachers for the youth. When she moved to Columbus to accept the educator position, I was a little bit heartbroken, but I understood because she had to move on. But I love her, as a daughter or a niece, just say a niece. As a niece, I love her as a true niece because that's what I consider her as. This is Coach Milli. She is originally from Douglasville. She is passionate about sports and athletics. She obtained her bachelor's degree at GSU, and she is currently an educator in Columbus, Georgia, and she's going to share more about her experience shortly. So if you want to know more about us, we are at www.slycinternational.com. This class or workshop will be placed on YouTube, so people will get the link. But this is Coach Milli. I call her Millicent. I just love her. She's wonderful. So thank you for accepting the engagement to speak to our youth, and looking forward to us having lunch soon.
Thank you for having me. I'm very honored for you to have me as a guest speaker for your foundation. A little bit about me. As she stated, I am from Douglasville. I grew up in a family of teachers, so this was not a hard choice for me. I've always loved sports since I was a little girl. That's always been a connection that I had, or something that made it easy to connect with other people. So just to kind of share this passion and why I went into education, as most of you know, you usually have a favorite teacher or a favorite subject when you're in school. So for me, that subject was PE. I loved running. I loved the competition. I loved all that it entailed, the teamwork. And so Dr. B, or Dr. Bierman, he was my teacher in elementary school. And then as I went on, there was a coach, Coach Duncan, that was at Alexander, that kind of helped with the athletic aspect. And from there, as I went to school, I decided that education, I wanted to help people, and I still wanted to stay connected to sports. So I decided to do education. For PE, you can coach or you can teach. It is a certification that's from kindergarten through 12th grade. So as I went through my field experience, at first I thought I wanted elementary kids. I love the little kids, but as I went through that, I decided I think I want to go a little bit older. So then I was in middle school. I actually taught middle school for 2 years, and that is a very complicated age group. There's a lot of hormones, there's a lot of growing that happens. So for me, after 2 years of middle school, I decided I needed to go a little bit older. So I ended up at high school. So I do teach I teach personal fitness, which is that half credit that you have to graduate. So I do have 9th graders. I teach about 7 courses of that. And for me, I try to teach skills on how to be healthy, and I introduce different sports and activities that maybe children would like to pursue outside of school or as later in life. So for me, to kind of break it down, most of the part when it comes to PE is more of like nutrition. So I know that it is hard to eat healthy, so a lot of times I do have those that might have heard of it or might have not heard of it. It's called MyPlate, and it is a website that allows you to kind of survey how you eat. Okay, so this is a free resource. And what you can do, you can take a survey. Okay, I've gone through the survey. And then you have basically this demographic where you figure out what your needs are. So as you can see down here, there is a plate. So that's why it's called MyPlate. And it kind of breaks down your nutrition and it helps you realize, okay, what do I need? So you have your fruits, which are red, your vegetables, which are green, protein, which is purple, your grains, which is orange, and dairy, which is your blue. So it kind of helps you gain an understanding of what I put into my body and what it should look like on your actual plate. So I do kind of utilize this. And then also I teach different sports. So a lot of times I'll do pickleball or badminton. I'll do flag football, wiffle ball, which is kind of similar to baseball. I also do let's see, soccer. I have done floor hockey. So just kind of those sports that you might not think of right off the bat. So I know
what is wiffle ball?
Wiffle ball is sort of
Wiffle
like
ball.
is sort of like baseball. You have a plastic bat and you have a plastic ball that has holes in it. And so it's kind of the same concept that you have two different teams. You have a team that is considered home in a way. So the team that is trying to stop the team from scoring and the team that is trying to score. But it is a sport that can be played inside. So, you know, a lot of times people are saying, you know, I don't have the equipment, or let's say I don't, like right now, it's too hot to be outside. So there's some sports that you're able to play inside. Pickleball, which is kind of taking over, is similar to tennis. So you can play singles or doubles. The court is a little bit smaller. You have a plastic paddle, and then you have a ball that's plastic and it has holes in it. So that can be played indoors or outdoors. And it is a sport that, you know, doesn't put as much strain on your body. So let's say maybe you've been injured, or let's say that you want to play a sport that's not as competitive. So pickleball has taken over the scene right now. Also, there is the running aspect. So we know that in order to have a good wealth or wholeness when it comes to wellness, we need to be able to have cardio. So for me, that could be running, that could be bicycling, that could be swimming. That could be a treadmill. So I do running, but also try to make it fun. So, you know, sometimes running is not fun for individuals. So I tell people, you know, if there is another way you want to do cardio, I know most of us have pets, so you can play with your pet. Or I know that biking and skateboarding is kind of becoming more mainstream when it comes to other things, or maybe dancing. I know that some people, you know, the boot camps are coming in. So we have like the dance boot camps, you know, so some people like to dance. So that is another form of cardio. Also, when I'm going to shift over to kind of the coaching aspect, as I was growing up, there was a trial when it's kind of like trial and error. So I had to decide what activity worked for me. So I did ballet, I did tap, I did gymnastics, I did softball, I did soccer, I did taekwondo, but then I found my passion in track and field. So it is okay if you don't find your sport right away. I tell people all the time that you might not get it right away, or it might take some time, or, you know, you might join a sport for different reasons. Some people join it for a social aspect. Some people join it for fitness. Some people join it for the competitive aspect of it. So for me, it was track and field. And I tell people all the time that if you want to pursue a sport, you are going to have to practice. So you're not going to always succeed. And I know that sometimes this generation is afraid of failure. but if you don't try, you'll never know. And so I tell people that failure doesn't mean no, it just means try again. So for me, track and field was that for me. And I tell people that everybody wants to be great. So that means you're going to have to practice. It doesn't have to be a lot, it can be 30 minutes. For me, being on a school team was great. I was able to connect with people. I was able to, it was a sense of school pride, to be able to represent my school. And then also, I like competition. So sports was it for me. So some people might decide they want to do sports at the recreation league or a club, which is fine. Everything doesn't have to be a competition. Or some people, they play for fun or they play with friends. So for me, like I tried basketball, I think it was 6th grade year, and I knew that was not for me. So it was fun to try it, but I knew it wasn't for me. And then I tell people that if you want to go to the next level, you have to be well-rounded. So you can't just play one sport. It's okay to play more than one sport. It's okay to have extracurriculars, like be a part of a club or be part of an honor society. They want to see that you're able to do time management, okay? You're able to kind of juggle more than one thing. And colleges want you to be able to show that you're diverse. You're not just one dimensional. So for me, the biggest thing was forming self-confidence, because at first I didn't know if I wanted to do a sport at the next level. But Coach Duncan, which I mentioned before, was one of those individuals that kind of said, you are good enough. You can do it at the next level. So for me, I decided that I wanted to do track at the next level. So for me, that included, going on college visits, junior year, sophomore year is never too early, and trying to, make connections. Does this team fit me? Does the college fit me? Does this school have my major? And so for me, Georgia Southern was that place for me. I ended up going on to the next level. Or there's some people that decide, I don't want to do at the next level. I might just want to do pickup. So, you might decide that afterwards, after high school, maybe I want to do something different. So I tell people, if you still want to do it, there's other ways that you can be a part of that community. You can volunteer, you can ref, you can help coach, you can assist. And so my biggest takeaway was forming self-confidence. So whether that is teaching, coaching, being on a team, you have to have self-confidence. And I know that it's better said than done sometimes. And for me, I wanted to just kind of give some points of reference when it comes to self-confidence. So for me, you need to be able to learn a new way of thinking. Okay, so if you do the same thing and expect different results, it's called insanity. Okay, so obviously that means you're gonna have to do something different. So if it didn't work, then you gotta try something else. You wanna set your own personal standards for success. So what I deem as success might not be what you deem as successful. Like me making the team was a success. Me being able to win every match or every meet wasn't a success for me. I wanted to further my distance. So let's say I got the same distance as last meet. For me, it was more about measurements, or for some people it might be about placement. Let's say last time I didn't get on the podium, or I didn't get a ribbon. So my next goal might be, I want to place top 10, or I want to place top 4, or I want to place top 3. So it depends on what you deem as successful. Or my thing is, I did my best. That's success. So it's kind of what you form as successful in your mind. I know that sometimes competition can be a problem. Like I said, some people like for fun. So if I know I'm an individual that doesn't like competition, I would probably do recreation. It's not as, it doesn't have that competitive aspect, but you still can enjoy sports. or an activity. Set small goals that you can be sure to set to reach. So a small goal might be for me, I just want to be able to run 10 minutes without stopping. And then once you reach that, let's say I want to be able to run 10 minutes consistently at least 3 days a week. And then you build on it. So you get to a point. For me, for example, my mom wanted to do 5Ks. So for me, that was a little bit different because I was a sprinter. So we had to make goals. Okay, we're going to try to work out 3 days a week. And then we try to add different exercises. So cardio, we did the core exercises. And then it came to a point where we were like, okay, we're going to try to run 5K a month. And then it came to a point where my mom was running 5Ks a month. Or then it's kind of like, I'll run as many 5Ks as I can. Or now it's to the point where we try to run a mile a day. So it's kind of like you get to a point where it's not about the, competition where it's like, it makes me feel good. This is something that I can do and accomplish, and it makes me feel really good. And then you want to think and act on positive ideas. So you want to always keep speaking those positive things. I can do this. I will make the team. I will get better. So that, you can put it on your mirror, or you can put it in your phone. Or for me, for example, it's kind of like when I go to school, I will have a good day. I will reach a student. I will teach a new sport. They will enjoy it, because sometimes I know there's stuff that they don't truly enjoy, or they have no interest, or sometimes it's kind of like I introduce a new sport and then they realize they like it. And then it's kind of like I can't get them to go to a new sport or a new activity because they realize, oh, wow, I really like this. Or they had a high success rate. And then it's kind of like that light bulb goes off. Like, I am good at something, because everybody does not have success or does not have a good experience when it comes to PE. So it's good to see those people that maybe didn't have a good experience to finally come to me later and like, I actually enjoyed your class. Like, I used to avoid PE, or I used to hate this class, and now I actually like it. Like, I have friends, I found an activity that I like, and it's because of your class. So it's nice to for kids to be like, I think I'm gonna take PE next year just because of one course. Are there any questions or?
What about, I'm taking notes. So one of the things you said, and I think the self-confidence piece, learn a new way of thinking, and learn a new way, a different way. I do have one of my younger youth on the phone, on the online. He is a basketball player and a baseball player. They won the championship last year. He wants to be awesome in both sports. So him having the confidence, because he wasn't very good initially doing the basketball, but he's getting better and better. He wasn't hitting the ball well, starting with baseball. And I think he hit a couple of home runs last year. I can't remember. So how do you get, and I know you went from elementary to middle to high, and you had to zone in where your actual focus would be, but what can you tell him and kids his age that's in elementary school, that's getting into sports? What can you do? What can you share with them to inspire them to keep going? And even though they may not be good initially, practice and stuff like that.
Well, first, it comes down to support. So you want to get those individuals that support you, whether you do good or you do bad. And you have to practice. If you know there's a weakness, then you need to focus on that weakness. So I would say like 15, 20 minutes a day. Let's say for you, for baseball, like you said, it might be hitting. So you might want to practice hitting off the tee, and then move to like a short pitch, and then you want to move to like a full-on pitch or a live pitcher. And then you want to try to get to a point where it's kind of like, okay, when the pressure's on. So let's say you get 3 pitches and you got to try to hit the ball. So you want to kind of progress where the confidence starts and where you get the higher success. And then to the point where it's kind of like, okay, when I'm live or I'm at the game, I can do that. Cause it's all about maintaining your, you don't want pressure to kind of get to you. So you gotta, in your mind, know, no matter what, I'm gonna succeed. So it's okay if you mess up, try again, okay? For basketball, let's say it's free throws. I know most people, it's a free point. So go do it 15 minutes or say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do 10 free throws in a row. Okay. If you mess up, you start over. And then you try to get to a point where it's like, okay, I have successfully done 10. Let's go to 15. So that's kind of when the goal setting starts. What is success for you? So, okay, let's get 15. Or let's say that you go to 20. So it's kind of, you want to make sure that you're also on a team that makes it fun. Because a lot of times kids lose interest because it's not fun. And that can be because of a coach, or sometimes it can be parents. Unfortunately, sometimes parents can be a little too hard on the kids and they live through their kids when it comes to the sport. And then the kid gets turned off because it's kind of like, it's not fun for me because I keep getting in trouble, or, my parents get mad if I don't do well, or, we're not doing well. So it gets to a point where it's kind of like the parents have to realize that it's about the kid. So my thing is, when it comes to that, also, you can also get another opinion. I know sometimes people do elementary, they'll do like, as they go into middle, they might find a coach to kind of help mold them, and they might do club and recreation, or find someone in your community that can help you. So let's say they had someone in the community that did baseball or basketball and they went further, or they played in high school, or they did make it and they did in college, reach out to those people and see if they can help you or give you some pointers as well. It takes a village to help the kids. So
Okay.
reach out to those other resources as well.
Yeah, the chat from Marla, actually one of my coworkers' friends, she said, I should get you every time. And she said, you are very wise.
Well, thank you.
So that's my questions for now. You can continue. I don't know, anybody else before she continues? Okay, you can go ahead. Ms. Milli?
Okay. That was pretty much it for me. So if anyone had any questions or any, scenarios or anything like that.
Go ahead. You got the mic. You got the mic. I got a question then. So how did you ultimately decide that it was high school students instead of elementary? Yeah, I know you went through a process.
Mm-hmm. For me, it was all about making connections. And like I said before, when I was in high school, that was one of the bigger connections that I made. Coach Duncan, he really helped me. So for me, high school, I felt like it was a very pivotal time, because once they hit high school, it's like in a couple years, I'm about to be an adult. So for me, I was able to relate to them and kind of instill life lessons and life skills. So for me, it was about forming those relationships. So even after they leave, I try to stay connected with them, ask them how they're doing in school, or if they do decide to do a sport, how they're doing in the sport. For me, also I have ninth graders. So in a sense, they're still very um, middle schoolish in a sense that, they're new to this environment and it's a lot to deal with. So it's kind of like they're having to refigure themselves out. So it's kind of like, who do I want to be? And so it's kind of like I'm able to guide them and give advice or just be there, just be supportive. So I really enjoyed high school. And I think because of coaching, it made it more fun because for high school, a lot of them choose to be on that team. It's not like they were forced. A lot of them choose to want to be a part of that sport. So the mindset is very different. So I enjoy that I want to succeed. I want to contribute. I want to be a part of something bigger than myself. So that's why I chose high school.
Anybody else got a question? Because I got another one. Miss Galaxy S8, Miss Tandra, Noel, Yolanda, Marla. Anybody got questions before I continue?
I don't have a question. I actually have a comment.
Okay.
And thank you, Miss LaTanya. It's Kimberly. Although my phone, I don't know. I'm not technological savvy. I can't operate it, but I didn't see where I was supposed to put in my name.
Okay.
Well, I would tell the young guy that's on the call, I can very much relate to Millicent, Coach Millie, my niece biologically, that you have to find the sport that fits for you. Like she said, sometimes a lot of parents live through their children. They couldn't do it, so I want my child to do it. But you have to figure out what's for you. And like her, I was a trackster in high school. I did several other sports. I did basketball. It was okay, but you have to find your passion where you fit. And of course, most all sports are team sports. With track, I was able to not only be part of a team, I was also found myself because some of the races I ran solo. So I was able to stand out on my own. And of course, the relay teams, you're part of a team and it is a team effort, but you just have to find your fit. Don't worry about anybody else. Easier said than done, yes. But you just do what's in your heart to do. And once you figure out who you are, then find where you are, and then you combine it all together. And of course, it takes the support in the village to help you succeed. And just because you may not succeed the first time, being a failure doesn't say no, it just says try again.
I had to write that down because the second time I heard this. Well, thank you for that. Anybody else?
I have a question for Coach Millie.
Go ahead.
When she was, figuring out that she loved track, what was the difference between being a sprinter, a long jumper, or a long distance runner? Did she automatically know that she wanted to be a sprinter? How did she decide her individual event?
Well, I did track in middle school, and as middle schoolers, everybody's basically on the team. And so once you make the team, then they kind of have you just try out for different things. So for me, I had done the fun runs in elementary school, so I knew that long distance wasn't for me. And so if I was a long distance, I said, okay, I'm a sprint. But for long jump, it was kind of, I'm not gonna say a fluke, but I wasn't looking for long jump. We had a middle school meet and all the 8th graders were gone because of, I think it was like 8th grade dance. And so they were saying, okay, we need someone else to do long jump. So I did the broad jump and I did fairly okay. So they're like, okay, we'll put you in. So when I got to doing long jump, I actually was pretty decent at it. So then I kept practicing at it. And then I got to a point where I was like, I really like this. So then I decided to continue to do long jump when I got to high school. And I was very successful in it. And so I kind of started putting all my energy towards the jumps and to sprints. So for me, it was aha moment when I was like, okay, I'm actually decent, and I didn't know much about it. Like it was kind of more of a raw talent that I was able to develop and work on, and then I became better. And for those that don't know, I actually had the school record at Alexander High School for long jump, and it was broken last year. So for me, it kind of was like I wasn't looking for it, and I tried it, and then I was like, okay, I'm decent at it, and I just stuck with it. So that's a very good question.
Good. Okay, I got one last question. What's next?
That is a very tough question, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know it's probably still going to involve volleyball and tennis, which for tennis this past year, we were the state runner-up behind Marist for the boys. But I have been thinking about teacher leadership or trying to be more active in the school. Maybe going back to school and get my specialist. Thought about the route of maybe doing athletic directing. I don't know, but I do know it's still going to be in the school.
Okay, okay.
So we'll see.
Well, know that I'm praying for you, and I know you're going higher than where you are now.
Thank you.
Just see that. So I'm waiting to see what's the next steps. What's your next chapter, if you will. So you and I will stay in touch. So, and we need to do lunch when you come up here.
Okay.
So, anybody else? If nothing else, you will get your shirt next week. Shirts, because of labor shortages and getting different shirts in, your shirt will be in Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday rather, and you will get your slick shirt. So hint for the auntie.
Ma'am.
I'm gonna get you soon to be speaking. And hint for the nurse. I'm gonna get you to speak too, but this is gonna be toward the end of the year. So I'm giving y'all heads up. Thank everyone for joining us today. Again, we are at www.slickinternational.com. If you would like to donate, you can do it through our website, which is PayPal, or you can do Cash App, which is $ capital S, lowercase PEAK, the number 4, capital S, capital L, capital Y, capital C. And as y'all been seeing, I post everything that Slick does. Wherever we at, we post. We're passing out these snack packs. Kids are just loving them. I just sent about 25 packs to Florida. A friend of mine came up for the weekend, for the day. So Slick is reaching out beyond the state of Georgia when it comes to that. So I'm looking forward to doing more, bigger and better things. The upcoming year, we're going on our 3rd year come October. We'll see where the pandemic is. We may do a small celebration and you all will get invited, depending on what we can do.
And thank you again for having me.
There's no problem. We've been trying to do this for a minute. It's just, scheduling. I know you're busy. I didn't know that you were doing the volleyball. So I have a niece who's the volleyball coach at a middle school in Jacksonville. So I got to connect y'all. I don't understand. I can't do the hit the ball overhand like that. I think that hurts hands. I don't see how people can do that. Don't be saying, "Oh, Lord, you're gonna do fine. You got it." How y'all? I mean, where do you hit? Is it here or is it here? Because if you hit the hand, I know hitting the ball like that hurts my hand.
It's supposed to be right here.
So do they build up muscle or something right there, or tolerance?
Yes, pretty much just repetition, and to a certain extent, it kind of just numbs out. So
Okay, well, yeah. So we got people just joining. So we're about to end. The people that just joined, Kayleen, hello.
Hello.
And we had just somebody else that joined us, Sarah. Thank you all for joining. Ms. Millicent has completed her presentation. We're just doing a little chit chat. Kayleen just had a baby girl who's now 2.5 or 3.5 weeks old. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing y'all soon as well. But thank you all for joining in and participating. This video will be on YouTube later today. Millicent, you'll get the link first so you can send it out, and I will send it out and also post it on our website and Facebook. But everybody enjoy your day. Stay hydrated. I know here they're expecting a couple of scattered thunderstorms, so be safe. And be safe because COVID is still out there as well. Love y'all, and y'all have a great rest of the afternoon.
You too.
Bye.